presentation and conversation. That thanks to Ivy for helping us and coming to talk to you guys. She's graduated from the MOA diploma program here in the school, and she has been very successful in her career. So I think that if you have any questions that later after she makes her presentation or her talk, you are going to get a very good feedback. So thank you, Abby, for being with us, and please pay attention, ask as many questions as you can, okay? So welcome, all yours.
All right, Ivy, go ahead.
Well, I graduated here 2014, I believe. I did my practicum at Prime Care Medical, which is a walk-in clinic in Burnaby. It was the practicum that the school picked for me. So I had originally was going to start part-time over there when I finished my practicum. But then I guess the girl that they had hired part-time had decided to go somewhere else, so they hired me full-time. And I worked there for about 6 months, and the manager was leaving, so she got me that manager position, and I worked there for about a year as a manager. Then I decided to apply to the hospital, which most hospitals, when you apply, they start out as a casual, and then once you get in, you kind of just work your way up to a part-time or full-time position, pretty much.
Did you do with the unit clerk or just demoing?
I did with the unit clerk, but I find that the one I did was, what's the one with the, what was it called?
Have you not clerk?
With the coordinator.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one I did, but I find they don't use a lot of like the medical terms and stuff, so all you really need to know is kind of just the receptionist portion of it. I mean, it's nice to know the medical terms, so if the patients like do ask you and stuff, you can answer, but most of the time the doctors and the nurses don't want you to do that anyway, so they prefer you ask them, so then they can answer the patient's questions.
So more on the office.
Sorry?
More on the office.
Yeah, more on the office side, because you're pretty much just booking appointments, answering phone calls, so when I jumped from the walk-in clinic to the hospital job, it's very different because walk-in clinic is very stressful because there is like a limited amount of patients that a doctor can see. Most patients don't get that, so they get quite angry when you turn them away or if you don't know like an answer to a question because you have to wait for the doctor, right? And then they don't like to wait. So there is that side of it. And then when I started working at the hospital, I work at Children's Hospital, so I'm dealing more with the children's side than the actual like patient themselves. We're in the walk-in clinic, so there's that aspect to it as well.
To choose the hospital that you went to, it was because you wanted to go there or somebody else told you?
No, I applied myself,
so you really have that in mind?
Yeah.
See, that is very, very important because when you have something in your mind and you set up like a goal, you get all the experience to lead you to go into that. So I'm very happy to hear that. I mentioned to the students when have the opportunity, you have to set your mind over something that you have pursued and it will happen. It will happen.
Yeah, I wanted to work in a specialist office. That's why I applied for the hospital position. Like the benefits is great too. So, and honestly, working in like a family doctor's office or a specialist office is a lot easier than working in a walk-in clinic because you're dealing with like a set people, set patients. Yeah, exactly. So a lot less stressful.
What are the requirements when you did apply to the hospital? Is it a very, are they very strict with the requirements that they needed you, or is it?
It depends on what you apply for, because the one I applied for was just a medical office assistant, so that's all you really need for that. Yeah.
So it's not really that hard.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't remember doing a typing test, but I have heard from other clerks that they had to do one. So I think you need to pass 50 words per minute.
So
is
that's
the requirement.
That's their only requirements. Aside from that, it's nothing because it's just all office jobs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, for now, because we're student, what can you give us an advice on how to improve our skills, where or how we can?
I find that a lot of the skills that you need to learn are mostly computer stuff because everything is computerized now. Like when you book appointments, everything's online. But of course, every office's software is different.
Yes.
So you kind of have to be a little bit computer savvy.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and then a lot of places use Microsoft, so you need to know how to work around like Word, Excel, Outlook, and things like that.
Great.
Yeah.
So they need a 50 word per minute when you apply for that position.
That was what I
With the
heard
hospital.
in where my position was. So
I see.
yeah.
And follow up to her question, because I'm just doing MOA, no unit clerk. Do you think I really need that unit clerk for me to able to?
I don't think so, because with the unit clerk, I think it's just a lot of medical terms that you need to know. But then once again, most doctors and nurses don't want you to answer the patient's questions anyway. So I felt like it was unnecessary, but it's good knowledge to have. Still, yeah.
Oh, that's a good.
Okay.
So what are they usually using about recording the patients? Are they using Oscars or in general?
I have heard of Oscar, but that's not the one I use. I don't remember the names. They're pretty similar though in term. Well, when I jumped from the clinic to the hospital, their scheduling system is completely different. But if you're just on like the family doctors and walk-in clinic side, I feel like they're pretty similar in terms of what they use.
Right.
Yeah.
So in a hospital, what are they using right now as an application for scheduling or the one that
It's
you're
a
working
program. I can't remember what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm on mat leave right now, so
Yeah.
I just forgot. I don't know what it's called.
So how's your schedule in the hospital?
When I first started, they were in need of people. So even though I was a casual, I was getting full-time hours. The only difference is just you don't have benefits, pretty much.
How many months that you don't have the benefits?
You don't have benefits as long as you're a casual.
Oh.
Yeah, so until you get to part-time or full-time position, then you get the benefits.
I see.
Yeah.
What about in the walk-in clinics? Do they get benefits too?
I didn't with my clinic, but I have heard most walk-ins don't. Some doctors, some family doctors will though. You just get put under their plan, I think. Yeah.
So it's much better working in a hospital then.
Or specialist office, yeah.
Yeah, because it's much more benefits.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 'cause
that's the
what-
whole
that's
reason
the
why
whole
I
reason
applied.
why-
Yeah.
So how long did it take you from casual to permanent position?
I was lucky because they were actively looking for my position when I was a casual working there. They had 3 people lined up, but something happened. They all ended up backing out. So then they picked me instead since I was already working there. Yeah, so I didn't need to get like an interview or anything. I just needed to pass like the 3-month probation, and then that was it.
I think it also adds up that they know how you work already.
Yeah,
I think
exactly. That's why I
the way-
didn't need an interview.
That's why
Yeah.
I think you get into a permanent position because from casual, I think they're already looking at you like, oh, okay, she does a good job and everything.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it depends on your
Mhm.
performance. I think from being a casual to what do you call
Permanent.
Full-time?
no the semi-permanent
Part-time?
part-time
Yeah.
position. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but with the hospital, when you're a casual, you're put under a lot of different clinics, so you need to learn how to work in each different clinic. I didn't need to do that just because they needed someone at my position for like a while before they find somebody, so I wasn't jumping around. Yeah.
Very lucky.
Yeah, I guess.
So somebody's saying that because I'm supposed to enroll for what do you call your course?
Medical office?
Yeah, but then well, I'm working at UGM, so I am working in the community. I'm already there, like addictions and everything. So I enrolled at CSW. But they're saying, some of them saying that when you enroll for medical office assistant, it's like there's so many people taking that course already that it's kind of hard to take a job. And it's just like, even though you get a job, it's kind of like that's all the leftover jobs from those people who was like into that job already, like they've been doing the job for a long time.
Yeah.
Is that true?
My case was a little bit different because when this school picked my practicum, they were kind of getting everything ready from the start up. So there wasn't like that many people that they needed. They kind of expanded like along the
Because they
the
said, oh, there's a
line,
really stiff
so-
competition. Like, there's a lot of.
Well, I heard there's actually a lot of positions for MOA just because there's a lot of offices and then I have heard there's a lot of positions out there.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it depends on like what field you're looking at, I guess.
Well, because I've got a background in nursing, and when I was in the Philippines and then when I was in Singapore, I've taken care of patients like ALS patients, like stroke patients. So I've got all the experiences. So I was like thinking. So when I migrated here in Canada, I said, well, I might as well take a medical office assistant course because I'll get the diploma, and then I've been there. But they said, oh, you're already, it's much better if you go into community service work. I said, okay, because I'm already there also.
Yeah. Maybe they just think it's easier for you because you've had the experiences already.
Well, no, but now I'm enrolled for community service work, which is because the reason why I'm enrolled there because I work at UGM, Union Gospel Mission, that's what we do, like community work.
Yeah.
For homeless people and addictions and everything. So this is like, oh, you might as well go there because, well, maybe they're thinking because it will not be hard for me to get the job.
Right.
Because I'm already inside.
How long you been working in the hospital?
2 years. I started 2017.
And for the part-time and full-time, do they get the same benefits or some of?
I think so. I think they do, yeah. I mean, you pay the same amount, so I'm pretty sure.
And what about the computer skills? Because here we're doing a basic, but basic for me is hard too. So what about in clinic or some stuff? Is it harder? Way harder or?
No, the skills that I've learned here with the Microsoft Word, you pretty much use there. There's nothing more really. Yeah, so
I think this is starting point. Like when you know the basic, you can work from it.
yeah, like not a lot of doctors will ask you to obviously create like templates or things like that, but if they do, you kind of just have to figure out how to do it yourself. That's what I did. So
Did they ask you
part
that?
though.
Did they ask you?
I've done some admin work for the doctors, yes, because for my position, which is in the asthma clinic in Children's Hospital, they have like templates where they get people where I have to order from like the website, but then I have to upload the document that they created onto the website. That way we can order, and then like the emergency side can order the paperwork as well. Yeah, so they've asked me to kind of make some changes to the document or add some more stuff to it. So, yeah.
So it's a must really that we need to do. We need to really learn
Yeah.
all the basic things.
Yeah.
So what's the first thing they ask you for your first interview?
What's the first thing they ask you? Well, I didn't get an interview with the walk-in clinic because I did practicum there, so they didn't interview me. But at the hospital, they asked for like your past experiences and then how are you with like customer. Well, they said customers, but I guess they just meant people. And then they asked you to kind of like list some examples of what had happened, or in this situation, what would you do, and things like that. Yeah.
Situational.
Because in my field, I guess you deal with a lot of angry patients, I guess. Because with specialist office, obviously you need to get a referral before you can get in. Most people, wait forever. And then the referrals that we get, the doctors, they have to triage it first to see who is more urgent than the other. So I get a lot of phone calls like all the time, asking like what is the update with the referral, and then when I explain to them, they're like, oh, it takes forever, and then they try to get you to like speed things up, so then I have to go back to the doctor. So it's a lot of like back and forth and explaining, and then a lot of like just patience, pretty much. Lots of patience.
So how do you deal with that kind of patient, like, when they get, because I've seen people, because I do go in a walk-in clinic, and it's understandable sometimes that it takes you a long time to wait for the see the doctor and everything, and then sometimes you're just like being shoved off and everything. So how do you deal with it? Like when you deal with an angry patient, like in front of you, I've seen the words like they're really saying things and
as long as like they're not swearing at you, all you can really do is be apologetic. But if they start being like aggressive or more mean, you could always get the doctor to come talk to them. Or if you're not like a manager, I guess you can grab your manager. That's pretty much all you can do. Like you cannot yell back at them. That's like a no.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And never argue?
Yeah, no, you can't do that, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, in everywhere I think we can't do that. Like, you still have that smiling face and everything.
Yeah, you just have to think your way through it.
Yeah. Well, it's I think every job will always get that kind of thing. But sometimes I see the worst of, and sometimes I see office workers also like receptionists. They're kind of like rude.
Yeah. I guess they're just probably fed up with it, but it comes with the job, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So prepare your patients. No, prepare yourself.
Are you guys almost all done or just started halfway?
Started halfway.
Oh, okay.
I'm almost done.
Almost
Oh, good for you.
Good for you. Congrats in advance.
You're taking up
CSW.
oh, yes.
Yeah, she's taking CSW. So I invited her to come over to just listen to you on perhaps how to penetrate the industry and how to use the ILS and the other skills that you've learned here in school to the actual environment.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So definitely the students here are actually having questions with regard